What's up everybody, D-Man back. Welcome to a brand new video. Today we're going to be doing another Godzilla King of the Monsters news and updates. This one's also going to be a little bit of a discussion video, kind of a Godzilla Explained, maybe a little bit of an off-brand Godzilla Explained. Today's video is going to be a video regarding the recent Monarch website that came out for, everything Godzilla. But today's will be specifically focused on Mothra. You guys can go check out the Monarch website using the link in the description below. Alright, so we're just going to break it down, starting with everything we see on the website. We're just going to break each thing down. I'm not going to read everything to you, but I will cover what I find to be the interesting stuff. Starting out, we have the information of where Mothra is. Mothra is located at Outpost 61. If you guys don't know why she's located at Outpost 61, it's because Mosura, the Japanese version of Mothra, was released in 1961 in Japan. So now we know why she's at Outpost 61. It's a pretty cool Easter egg. Not a lot of people have been giving that attention, so I figured I'd try and spread some light to it. Then we know that Rodan. What am I talking about? Rodan. We know that Mothra lives in the Yunnan rainforest in China, and she is found in the Temple of the Moth. So it sounds like there's going to be a whole shrine built around where her cocoon is. I hate the species names from the Monarch website. They seem a little lazy, but we have the species name for Mothra, which is Titanus mosura. Then they call Mothra a super species. That is a continuation from the Kong Skull Island Monarch website, in which every single creature was called a super species. We didn't have that with Godzilla 2014, so I like the carried over continuity. Monarch's full name for the creature is Mothra. I'm not sure why they went, it's a Titanus mosura, we'll call it Mothra. I guess they just really like those Japanese names like Gojira. But then all of a sudden they're like, nah, he's Godzilla. Just the species name must be Gojira or something. So I guess this is the same, Titanus mosura, and then it's called just Mothra. Also, interesting enough, Mothra has no threat level listed on the website, meaning probably that's because Mothra won't pose much of a threat. She'll probably just be a good guy like traditional. This is the interesting details here. Mothra is actually only 52 feet tall, so if she was just standing up, you gotta give her some credit once you hear the wingspan, but just standing up, right? Not on her, not measured in length, okay? Just height. King Kong from 1933 is about as tall as her. Okay, then you have the wingspan, which is huge. It is an 803 foot long wingspan. That is massive. That's twice the size of Godzilla. That's just absolutely insane. She is going to cause some damage with those wings if she intends to or not. We saw the original Mothra from 1961. When she'd flap those wings, man, in Rolishika, she destroyed the entire city. So I can't wait to see what she's going to do now in modern day, being so much larger than she was back then. But my real question here is, how do they know how tall she is and how long those wings are when she's in the cocoon? I guess they maybe have the ability to see through it, but that seems like a pretty big stretch. I know they're just trying to spread information about the character. I'm just saying, in terms of the canon, the continuity, it doesn't make sense. But just for comparison, guys, Mothra from Final Wars, the biggest Mothra to date previously, was 709 feet for the wingspan. So this Mothra is about just barely less than 100 feet longer than the other Mothra in terms of wingspan, which is huge. Mothra is a mythical creature. Lots of different legends around the world know about this creature, so that's pretty cool that we now know that loads of people on Earth are aware of Mothra. Here's a direct quote from the Monarch website. The folklore and fairy tales tell of a winged creature of blinding light, an angel of the clouds whose godlike luminescence has the power to shatter the sky. We'll talk a little bit more about that luminescence in a minute, but I think that's just a super cool description. You know, you have this description, which is talking about the way other people view Mothra, and they do view her as a god, and I love the fact that we're continuing with that. Of course, that has been something present in Mothra's characterization all throughout history, so I'm glad we didn't abandon it. The picture of Mothra that you're looking at now was found in the Yunnan province of China, and it shows Mothra depicted as a god. I hate the description of Mothra from this picture. Apparently they're calling Mothra the Queen of the Monsters. Oh, yeah, because Godzilla's the king of the monsters. Get it? Also, the news called Godzilla the king of the monsters in this timeline. So Monarch, I guess, was just like, dude, that is a sick headline. Mothra's the Queen of the Monsters, because I love that title. Mothra was found in a hardened larval form. I'm not going to say this word right, but it's something like Crystallis or something. Either way, it's basically a cocoon from what I could tell from the brief research I did on it. She was found by Monarch containment members. This does conflict with the previous reports we got from the Monarch timeline in 2009, sort of. The original reports state that mythological studies of Chinese temples leads Monarch to the high-altitude jungles of the Yunnan province. Dr. Emma Russell and her team follow a mysterious bioacoustic signature to a previously undiscovered megalithic temple. Within lies a giant cocoon. A quickening heartbeat is detected inside. But now we're going back and retconning that a little bit, because it turns out this time Monarch actually found him, because it was just Monarch containment crews who found Mothra. Just Monarch containment members. And then they called in Emma Russell afterward, and she was there. She wasn't with the Discovery team, but she was there when she discovered the heart rate of Mothra inside the temple. I won't be surprised if King of the Monsters starts with a flashback to that scene. Mothra is then stated to be able to, quote, illuminate the sky. So if you're wondering what all this illuminescence is, this next quote will explain it. So when Mothra will be in adult form, she has the ability to produce, quote, beta wave bioluminescence. It's stored in her abdomen and can be released through her wings, specifically through the patterning in her wings. This is really cool. So this confirms the earlier reports that Mothra would have a golden hue to her, like a pretty version of Enchantress from Suicide Squad. You know, Enchantress's Miss and everything like that. We're going to see that with Mothra in the new movie. And this basically confirms that. Yeah, this bioluminescence, that's what that person was talking about from the original test screening reviews. Also, this confirms the previous reports I got that I talked about in videos that stated that Mothra would be a, quote, Jesus-like creature and viewed as a god in the movie, and it will be very beautiful. If you're wondering why does bioluminescence mean beauty, well, just look at these pictures of bioluminescence, natural bioluminescence. It's beautiful. So I'm very excited to see that in the movie. I wish it was blue. I hope they do something with the blue bioluminescence on Mothra's wings, because that could be very cool. Mothra is also stated to be able to weaponize the bioluminescence in order to blind opponents by firing it out of her wings, so that's crazy. It'll be probably an updated version of when she'd fire off her poison scales at Godzilla. No lightning this time, though, Heisei era. The writing on the modern update to the previous Temple of the Moth picture confirms that Mothra will have bioluminescence. That's all we learned from it that's important. The second picture just lets us know that Serizawa and Graham know about Mothra, and the third picture tells us that Monarch is going to measure Mothra's bioluminescence with a photometer. This means that this picture was taken after 1916, because that was when photometers were created, but we also know it has to be taken after 1946, because that was the start of Monarch in this new continuity. Previously, we thought that Monarch started in 1954 after Godzilla was awoken.
In 1954, the first time a nuclear submarine ever reached the lower depths. It awakened something.
The organization we work for, Monarch, was established in the wake of this discovery.
I think they went back and changed that. So there you go. Now we know that Mothra was in adult form and alive during the 1940s, because we have a picture of her. I'm not huge on that picture, though. It looks a little bit faked, you know, like, well, obviously it's supposed to look like a conspiracy theory photo, so I understand what they're doing with it, but it looks a little fan-made. Like, I could do that too, you know. And I'm not the only one who has that complaint, and I know Daikaiju Tony has also been saying that, so I think they're cool and all, but they're nothing huge. I do like the new details we got for Mothra, though. It's very interesting with the new bioluminescence angle they're taking up with the character and just the size of the creature. So I'm excited to see more from Mothra. Maybe Mothra tomorrow at Comic-Con? Who knows? Thank you guys all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you guys next time. D-Man, out.